The throne room of the Dragon Court gleamed with crystalline scales that had been shed over millennia, each one larger than a human shield. Cameron stood at the center of it all, his plain leather boots looking pitifully out of place on the obsidian floor. He could feel the heat radiating from the two massive dragons coiled on either side of the dais. Luna's parents. The Dragon King and Queen. Absolutely not, rumbled King Draken, his voice like an avalanche of boulders. Smoke curled from his nostrils. You cannot marry our daughter. Queen Vera's golden eyes narrowed to slits. A human. Our Luna is a princess of the ancient bloodline. She could have any dragon lord in the 5 kingdoms, and you expect us to bless this? This absurdity. Cameron opened his mouth to respond, but a melodic laugh stopped him cold. Luna descended from the upper gallery, her scales shimmering between deep purple and midnight blue as she moved. In her dragon form, she was magnificent, graceful, and deadly, with wings that caught the light like stained glass. Mother, father, Luna's voice carried a warmth that made the air shimmer. You misunderstand the situation entirely. She landed beside Cameron with surprising delicacy, her tail curling protectively around him. The gesture was not lost on her parents, whose expressions darkened further. Luna, be reasonable, her mother began. But the princess cut her off. I haven't come to ask for your blessing, Luna said, and Cameron felt his heart skip. This wasn't part of the plan they'd discussed. I've come to inform you of what has already been decided. Cameron is mine. I claimed him 6 months ago. The temperature in the throne room dropped 20 degrees. King Draken rose to his full height, his massive form casting Cameron in shadow. You claimed a human, without consulting us, without following proper protocol. His roar shook dust from the ancient rafters. Do you understand what you've done? The scandal this will cause. The other courts will mock us. But Luna didn't flinch. She transformed then, taking her human form, a tall woman with long dark hair that held hints of purple in certain lights, and those same golden eyes that marked her as royalty. She wore a simple dress of deep violet, and she took Cameron's hand in hers. I understand perfectly well, she said, her voice calm but firm. I've claimed the man I love, the man who saw a dragon caught in a hunter's trap and freed her without hesitation, even though he'd been taught all his life that dragons were monsters. The man who brought me healing herbs when I was wounded, who sat with me through the night to make sure I survived. The man who learned our language, who studied our customs, who proved himself worthy not through strength or treasure, but through kindness and courage. Cameron squeezed her hand, finding his voice at last. Your Majesties, I know I'm not what you envisioned for Luna. I'm not royalty. I have no hoard of gold, no ancient lineage. I'm just a woodcutter's son from the village at the mountain's base. He took a breath, meeting King Draken's fierce gaze. But I love your daughter with everything I am, and I will spend every day of my life proving that I'm worthy of the gift she's given me. Gift? Queen Vera scoffed. You speak as though she's blessed you. Human, do you have any idea what you're asking? To be bonded to a dragon means your lifespan will extend to match hers. You'll watch every human you've ever known grow old and die while you remain. You'll be neither fully human nor dragon, belonging to neither world completely. I know, Cameron said quietly. Luna explained everything. And yes, it terrifies me, but the thought of living without her terrifies me more. A long silence fell over the throne room. Luna's parents exchanged a look that held centuries of shared understanding, the kind of wordless communication that only came from an ancient bond. Finally, King Draken sighed, smoke trailing from his nostrils in resignation. Luna always was the most stubborn of our children. Even as a hatchling, once she decided on something, there was no swaying her. She gets that from you, dear, Queen Vira said dryly, though some of the ice had melted from her tone. She studied Cameron with new intensity. Tell me, human woodcutters, son, what will you do when the villagers turn on you? When they see you at Luna's side and call you traitor to your kind? Cameron didn't hesitate. I'll stand with her, always. Luna's grip on his hand tightened, and when he glanced at her, he saw tears shimmering in her golden eyes. Queen Vera was quiet for a long moment. Then, incredibly, she smiled, just a slight upturn of her dragon lips, but a smile nonetheless. Draken, do you remember what your parents said when I chose you? A mountain dragon marrying a river dragon, they said it would never work. The king huffed, but there was amusement in the sound. They said you were too wild for me, too unpredictable. And yet here we are, 3,000 years later. The queen looked back at Cameron and Luna. We cannot stop this claiming. It's already done. The bond between you is established. I can see it. Feel it in the air around you both. However, King Draken's voice became stern again. If we're to accept this, human, you will learn our ways properly. You'll train with our warriors, study with our scholars. You'll earn the respect of our court through your own merit. not simply because our daughter chose you." Cameron bowed deeply. "I would expect nothing less, Your Majesty." Luna transformed back into her dragon form and nuzzled against Cameron, a rumbling purr emanating from her chest. "Thank you, Mother, Father. I know this isn't easy for you." "Easy?" King Draken snorted. "Wait until we tell your grandmother. She'll probably try to eat him." But despite his words, there was acceptance in his eyes now. Cameron looked up at the massive dragons before him, then at Luna beside him, and felt something settle in his chest. This wouldn't be simple. There would be challenges ahead, conflicts between their two worlds, skeptics and enemies aplenty. But Luna had claimed him, and he had claimed her in return. That was all that mattered. The Dragon Princess had chosen her human, and not even the throne of the ancient courts could undo what had already been written in their hearts.